What's going on, fam? I know I'm late speaking on this particular topic. I heard about it, and there's been some news over the last couple of days. This is pretty much the latest article I could find as of July 25th. Speaking on, let's see, July 25th. Hold on, a couple different articles here. Let's see. Now, this one's from Fox News, the one I have here. I got a couple different articles here. Let me make sure I have the right one up. We're going to talk about this, people, because I find this absolutely despicable. That you got a pack of wild teenage heifers who decided to attack a girl who they know have special needs. It's not like they didn't know. They knew. I saw the initial video. I was sick to my stomach. And I don't like to watch videos like that because it gets me riled up. I'm not going to lie. Because I'm the type of person that can get very intense. That's why I steer away from certain topics. And one of the topics I really hate to discuss and speak about is when you know that there are situations where you got people who have issues being jumped. Now, I saw people get jumped growing up, okay? I saw people get picked on and, messed with as far as high school or, middle school, whatever. I've seen a lot of that, and being somebody who has seen this stuff growing up and me being who I was, I didn't stand for that, and I wasn't the type of person to engage in that behavior. And when you look at how society is today, the disrespect for authority figures, for parents don't know how to raise their kids. So their kids are out doing dysfunctional shit. And they're not being reined in. Well, let me tell you something, parents. If you don't raise your kids, the justice system will raise them. And I don't want to hear nothing in this video about racism, white supremacy. I don't want to hear none of that. That ain't had nothing to do with it. Okay? So let's get into this article from WGN-TV. It says Chicago. 4 juvenile girls have been arrested in connection with an attack on a 15-year-old girl with special needs that was captured on video. These idiots filmed it. And what was even more fitting of this situation is that these same girls that were acting so big and bad in that initial video were crying their eyes out when they realized they too can be attacked. And I'm talking about through social media. Social media is a beast. And when it's unleashed upon you, it is as if you've been hit physically. Especially when you're these young girls who probably have no self-esteem already, and you see people going at you, talking about how you look, just totally destroying you, making fun of you, clowning you, in an age where a lot of these girls are trying to figure out who they are. But when you go and do what you do, you deserve every bit of it. And I'm glad that social media finally, it basically did what it should be doing. It should be going after people, not going after people for their opinions or for their ideology. They should be going at these people who put their hands on other people. Police say the girls ages 13, 14, and 15, another 15-year-old, have been charged. 3 with aggravated battery and 1 with mob action. Detectives said there are more people aside from the 4 charged who were involved. There was a lot of people in that video. I think there was a dude there as well. The 15-year-old's maternal grandmother, Charlie Mae Harris, says she is happy to hear of the arrest, but wants more of these teens brought to justice. It's so sad. When I saw that video where she screamed, they looked like it was funny. How it was savage. Harris said. CDPD Superintendent Eddie Johnson and detectives announced the charges Thursday afternoon, along with a detailed timeline of what happened. What caught my attention with this incident is that the victim knew her attackers, and the video gave me a sense she felt she was among friends. Johnson said, "I got to tell you, it broke my heart to see this group of young people turn on her and escalate it into what we saw." Chicago police said a missing person report was filed for the 15-year-old girl who has special needs by her father, Mervyn Jenkins, on July 18th. Authorities said she was missing for 5 days before police were contacted. Wow. Jenkins denied waiting 5 days to report his daughter's missing status. He said he reported her missing that very first day. She went missing on the 19th, and I filed a report on the 18th, Jenkins said. On Monday, a video of the teen being brutally attacked began circulating on social media. Detectives said they learned on the viral video on Tuesday. The 15-year-old was found Tuesday night at a Vigilant Citizen on the CTA and taken to the 11th Police District. From the police station, she was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center for observation. During the interviews with detectives, the 15-year-old said that she had met several juveniles who she thought were her friends. Well, we see they weren't. The so-called friends taught her how to flash gang signs, which is when the beating that was captured on video occurred. You know what I think happened? Those girls are probably gang affiliated, and they had her flash certain gang signs that may not have been there. It might have been another gangs, and that would give them the justification to record themselves beating this girl. Because I don't know why they thought they would get away with this. And it just shows you that the mentality in these neighborhoods, it ain't the dudes that are the savage ones. It's these females. And that goes back to when I was a teenager. I saw this behavior, but it was at a lesser degree with females. It'll be here and there. But it has grown so much that the women are out there fist fighting and punching people just as much, if not more, than the dudes. But I you know what? There was one video. There was one piece of video, okay, that I seen. This might have been what, last year, maybe early this year. There was this older white man. He was with his family, and these group of girls were harassing his family, and he was trying to keep them away from him. And then they started swinging on him, and he knocked that girl out. I said to myself, she brought that on herself. I don't know how anybody could justify that. And when I saw this same situation, I said to myself, you know, when these group of girls start harassing people, talking shit, in whatever happens in that situation is going to happen. Whether that girl ends up knocking one of them out, fighting them, it is what it is. Because these girls are putting themselves in bad situations. But because in these communities, only the dudes usually are the ones who are, getting the consequences of actions, a lot of those girls don't. So they sort of fly under the radar. But what they don't understand is that when you put something like this on social media, you're going to feel the brunt of a lot of people who are going to see you as the bad guy. You're going to see the consequences of your actions that you've never seen before in your life. Which is when the beating that was captured on video occurred. Police are still looking into why the 15-year-old girl was missing. Family members said she was living with her father and paternal grandmother. They said her mother died 2 years ago. The 15-year-old is now at DCFS custody as the police investigation continues. So she was missing for 5 days. 5 days. You have to ask yourself, either she got lost or she was running away from home. There's a lot to go into the situation, but if I'm looking into this correctly, the father actually filed a missing persons report. He said the day of her not coming home or the day after. But what it seemed to me is that they didn't know where she went. She didn't even know where she was going. But I would have to say, unfortunately and fortunately, if it wasn't for that viral video, they wouldn't have been able to find her. They would probably still be looking for her. So in a way, this video was very damaging. This video was very horrible. This is one of the most horrible videos I've seen in quite some time. Just to see that young girl screaming like that. You know, I have younger sisters. I would never, I don't know how I would react if I saw a video of them being jumped on. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know how I react. I'd probably black out. Okay? So I can only imagine how that family feels. You're sort of, you're helpless looking at this video. You don't know what this girl is. And this situation is happening. DCFS opened its own investigation concerning the allegations of the 15-year-old after receiving a call in on its hotline. The agency called this matter heartbreaking and issued a statement. The department is committed to protecting the state's most vulnerable children. We are working closely with law enforcement to fully investigate what happened in this case. You know, this is some of the most troubling stuff I've seen in quite some time. Switch over to the other article. I just don't understand what would be in these girls' mind, because these will be the same girls, all right, that will talk about female empowerment and helping other girls, and it's always the boys that are doing this and that. But then you look at these situations, man, the girls are more violent than the dudes. The girls are more violent than the dudes. They'll swing on you quicker than dudes will because there's no consequences to their actions. Because they feel like they can do whatever they want. They had no right to put their hands on this girl. And someday they're going to put their hands on the wrong person. And they're going to see consequences. Or, you know, that's just my opinion.